I've seen a lot of sad stories coming out of the comic book industry over the last several months. It's a lot of people who are making GoFundMes to survive. Larry Hama, who the creator of G.I. Joe, some of the best comics ever, man who did a great run on Wolverine and more, is saying that he can't even retire because he just doesn't have the money to do so. The comic industry screws people, and we've got another story about this today. Very sad stuff, and we just are glad we're in an independent space here because I'm blessed to be making money on my books here. Thanks to you guys. You've come in so hard over the last few weeks, especially to where we've just boosted to a new level. And if you've not checked out my books yet, I would appreciate you going to my web store in the description below, checking out Flying Sparks, the series, Cosmic Warrior, or Overmind. Those are my three recommendations for you. We have a lot of books, of course. And grab one. You'll have some fun, and we appreciate it. It is a truly independent effort here, and we survive because of people like you. Also get on our Subscribe Star. The Subscribe Star is what I'm using as a model to make exclusive monthly comics, and of course, as we can do more, as more people come on, we can build more, and we're building something awesome. So thank you for being there and especially for the early Subscribe Star adopters. You know who you are. I really appreciate you being there. My name is John Delarose, and I am a cultural commentator and comic creator. And this is going to be a talk about Steve Roode, the dude, in a mailing list that he came out with the other day. Another sad story out of the comic book industry. So the comic industry is collapsing and dying in front of our very eyes. It's very sad to watch. We're seeing stores closing left and right, mostly because of just the content just not matching up with what audiences want. They want a new, different audience. They're telling you they don't like you. They don't want you. You're disposable to them. And so you've tuned out for the most part, and it's really hurt a lot of creators out there. Now, Steve Roode is best known for his art in Nexus with Mike Baron. Unfortunately, Steve has thrown Mike Baron under the bus a bunch, and they both are doing different versions of Nexus at this point. Mike Baron's is much more closely related to what it used to be compared to what Steve's doing. Steve's art's beautiful, of course, but writing not quite there. I saw him on Cartoonist Kayfabe like a year ago, lambasting Mike Baron too, which I really didn't like. That was really sad to watch. But I think he's just got some problems himself, and those problems are now going financially, which is a bummer. So he says, most of you, this will come as a surprise. Given our efforts as sincere with our communicating with our fan base for these many years, perhaps not. Here's the news. For 20 years, Janelle and I have put everything we have, literally every ounce of time, energy, talent, into the belief that someday all the work we're doing at Roode Dude will pay off. But it hasn't. Decades on, I've done my whole life, tried to stand for it, endured, and maintained the hope with regardless of what hits all of us in our time here, it just isn't working. It's now been 20 years on since starting the publishing entity we called Roode Dude. Now, as a supposed adult, I have to face the reality of something isn't going to change. The reality is we're not financially cutting it. And this is something we're seeing across the board with a lot of established comic book pros. Yes, we have support of fans, and this is just sad. His art's so good, guys. Always strong, always loyal, but given our entire way of supporting ourselves, this has not been enough to sustain us. I'm now looking at a future where things can't continue as it is. Janelle, my always devoted and tireless wife, works 10 to 20 hours a day to keep us afloat. I work about 8. I love what I do. I always have. Would do it for nothing, which is in fact exactly what I've been doing this whole time. That's a sad story. But it is exactly how the mainstream comic industry churns up these people, spins them out, and then just regurgitates the next people who just want to, are aspiring to be in this position. And unfortunately, the industry has survived as a clout political structure more than based on actually people reading and caring about the works. I went into a comic shop, talked to the owner there, and he said he doesn't even believe that 30% of people who actually buy the comics even read them. It's mostly just people speculating on certain characters out of habit still. It's really sad. And even that, like the sales are way down. And so you're really not getting people reading comics anymore. As many independent publishers know, profits from their efforts don't go to us, they go to costs. Well, you're doing it wrong then, Steve. As a dedicated group, we end up with little to no profits. Geez. Maybe I should message him and offer to help this guy. They first rightfully have to go to printers, any assistance, mailing supplies, PR materials, whatever else informs that venture. It's immensely costing, far more than most can imagine. So Janelle and I make nothing, since it's clear we will never will. This letter is to you. This is heartbreaking. But I think it's really based on an old publishing model that he's talking about, and trying to exist within that structure is a main part of the problem. My friends, changes are afoot. It's not a fair world, as most of you know yourselves have it in any claim it would be. It's just life. I've had every success a person could ever hope for, but the people can't and shouldn't have to live on something as ethereal and intangible as hope. I blame no one but the bizarre and inexplicable circumstances of life itself, the conditions we all work in to strive to keep ourselves afloat. What I do is not just my life, but my identity as a person. Creative people want nothing more than to create, but the creation itself isn't enough. Support yourself. Family must override all else. Very sad. Those who have welcomed the latest edition from Roode, Battle to Thune World, we're going to finish off the remaining books in this 5-issue series. The latest Nexus epic of original new material that I've written, drawn, and lettered. Following that, without drastic changes, we simply can't afford to be publishing more Nexus. Well, part of it is just going the wrong route with things, and of course trying to be a part of that mainstream industry still. It doesn't sell. Those people are not the same people that used to be there. It's a bunch of talentless hacks who have taken over everything, and it's, like I said, a little political clout structure of a whisper network, and trying to appeal to that is just not going to work. I mean, Steve Roode, you're a white guy. It's over. That's. I mean, I hate to be blunt, but that is a just death knell in that group. And they don't make any money anyway. None of these people make any money. It is like I said, a clout structure. They all are faking it. They all post their GoFundMes, even though they're, Max Visaggio is working on Zack Snyder stuff, but post GoFundMe for rent. Heather Antos is head of whatever at IDW, and yet post GoFundMe to pay for a new computer. Like, I mean, these people don't have anything. There's nothing they're worth striving for. You got to be truly independent in today's game, and that true independence does come profits. You run leaner, you don't have to deal with this stuff, and it's really a fantastic thing. So what I'd love is to see him, kind of get back with Mike Barron and apologize for some of the things he said over the years about Mike, who's been fantastic, and really join us here in independence. But this is another sad story, another death in the comic book industry, a death of a career. Leave a comment about what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to go to my web store, check out my stuff, get on Subscribestar. Really appreciate you all for supporting the hard independent comics over the years. You've been amazing. We'll be back soon.